Electric vehicles. Silver per car is exploding. Second megatrend, electric vehicles. In 2024, the automotive sector consumed roughly 90 million ounces of silver. A gasoline car uses about 1528 grams of silver. An EV uses 2550 grams, double. But that's just the beginning. Because the real silver explosion is coming from solid-state batteries. Toyota, Volkswagen, BMW, Ford, they're all racing to commercialize solid-state tech. Why? Because it eliminates range anxiety, charges faster, runs cooler, is safer, but solid-state batteries require significantly more silver. Estimates range from 80 to 115 grams per vehicle. That's 4.5x more silver than a gasoline car. If just 20% of global vehicle production shifts to solid-state EVs by 2030, that's an extra 80 million ounces of annual silver demand, appearing almost overnight. Toyota has already said mass production begins by 2027. The silver orders must be placed now. Mining can't respond. AI and data centers, the silent demand surge. Third megatrend, artificial intelligence. This is the demand nobody has modeled correctly yet. AI servers, GPU clusters, high-performance computing. They generate extreme heat. Silver has the highest thermal conductivity of any metal. It's used in heat pipes, thermal pastes, advanced cooling systems, high-speed connectors. Every AI data center is a silver-intensive facility. And the AI infrastructure build-out in the US alone is hundreds of billions of dollars. This demand is rising faster than official forecasts can capture. The demand that vanished in 1996. Now here's where the story gets uncomfortable, because there is a fourth sector consuming massive quantities of silver that does not appear in the data, the United States military. Until 1996, the US Bureau of Mines tracked silver consumption across all sectors, including defense. Then something strange happened. The Bureau of Mines was abolished. Military silver data disappeared. The USGS took over reporting, and defense consumption vanished from public statistics. Official reason? National security. But aggregate usage numbers don't reveal weapons designs. What they do reveal is supply stress, and that's precisely why the data was buried. Missiles, torpedoes, submarines. Let's do the math. Tomahawk missiles. Estimates range from 15 to 200 ounces of silver per missile. Even at the low end, over 2,000 launched since 1991. 4,000 in current stockpiles. That's hundreds of thousands of ounces destroyed and nearly 1 million ounces locked away. Torpedoes, silver zinc batteries. Estimates, 160 to 1,600 ounces per torpedo. If the Navy maintains 10,000 torpedoes, that's 5 million ounces of silver. Submarines? Nuclear submarines use massive silver zinc battery systems. Estimates, 3 to 8 tons per submarine. That's 100,000, 250,000 ounces each. 30 new submarines over 15 years, 4.5 million ounces, locked away for decades. Space. Silver never comes back. Now space. Starlink satellites contain 600 ounces of silver each. SpaceX plans 42,000 satellites. That's 16.8 million ounces in orbit. Satellite lifespan? 5-7 years. They burn up. The silver is gone forever. Global satellite constellations could exceed 100,000 units by 2030. That's 40 million ounces in space at all times, continuously replaced. The hypersonic arms race. Hypersonic missiles, Mach 5 to Mach 25. Extreme heat, extreme stress. Silver survives where others fail. Estimates, 2060 ounces per missile. 10,000 missiles, 600,000 plus ounces. Stored, never recycled. The real demand total conservative defense estimates. Missiles, der Bergschirmer 1M ASA. Torpedoes, 5M NOS. Submarines, 4.25 mm NOS. Satellites, 40 mm NOS. Hypersonics, 2 many NOS. Over 52 million ounces of demand, not in the official data. Supply, collapse math 2024. Mine supply, 820 million ounces. Recycling, 194 million ounces. Total supply, for 1.01 billion ounces. Total demand, later 1.2 billion ounces. Deficit, 200 million ounces per year. Above ground stockpiles, over 1 billion ounces. Timeline to exhaustion, 5 years. Mining response time, 10 to 15 years. No escape. Government intervention is coming. Silver is now officially a U.S. critical mineral. That unlocks export controls, priority allocation, Defense Production Act, strategic stockpiling. Retail comes last. History proves it. Paper versus physical, banks control paper. They do not control metal. Lease rates rising, premiums rising, delivery stress rising. When paper fails, Price discovery shifts to physical bidding wars. The last discount. Friday's drop to $60 wasn't a warning. It was a gift. The fundamentals didn't change. The deficit didn't shrink. The military didn't stop building weapons. Solar didn't stop. EVs didn't stop. The math is locked. This isn't investment advice, but this is reality. The paper price is noise. The physical market is signal. And that signal is screaming. Silver just dropped to $62 per ounce on Friday. And Wall Street wants you to believe the rally is finished. They want you scrolling past headlines thinking this was just another precious metals bubble that popped right on schedule. They want you believing silver had its moment, and now it's over. Because if you believe that, you won't look any deeper. You won't ask why the price fell. You won't ask who sold. And most importantly, you won't notice what just changed forever in the physical silver supply chain. Because while paper traders were dumping contracts in New York, while algorithms were firing sell orders in milliseconds, while banks were flooding the futures market with synthetic silver, something far more important happened elsewhere. Something that has nothing to do with charts and everything to do with reality. For the first time in recorded history, industrial demand for silver crossed 680 million ounces in a single year. Not investment demand, not jewelry, not coins and bars. Industrial consumption. Silver that is destroyed, embedded, or vaporized forever. And there's one entire sector consuming silver that is not reported at all. A sector where demand is classified. A sector where usage is a state secret. A sector where the United States government stopped reporting silver consumption in 1996 and never resumed. The military-industrial complex. In this investigation, I'm going to expose the 680 million ounce industrial demand wall hit in 2024. Why silver cannot be substituted no matter the price. The Pentagon's hidden silver consumption using declassified data and hard math. And why Friday's drop to $62 was not a crash. It was the last discount window before the physical market breaks, because banks are playing a paper game. The military is playing a survival game, and survival always wins. What the official data admits? Let's start with what we know for certain. The Silver Institute just published its 2025 World Silver Survey, and buried inside that report is a number so large it should have been headline news everywhere. 680.5 million ounces. That is how much silver was consumed by industry alone in 2024. Not investment, not jewelry, not silverware, industry. And this wasn't a one-off spike. This was the fourth consecutive year of record industrial demand. 4 years in a row. Each year higher than the last. No pauses, no pullbacks. That is not cyclical behavior. That is structural acceleration. And it's being driven by three megatrends that are reshaping the global economy. Solar, the silver black hole. First, solar energy. In 2024, solar panels consumed 197.6 million ounces of silver. That's nearly 20% of total global silver demand coming from one industry. And here's the critical detail Wall Street ignores. Silver is not optional in solar panels. Each photovoltaic panel requires roughly 15 to 20 grams of silver in conductive paste printed onto silicon wafers. That silver forms microscopic electrical pathways that capture photons and convert sunlight into electricity. Scientists have spent decades trying to replace it. Copper, aluminum, nickel, graphene, exotic alloys, they all fail. Why? Because silver has the highest electrical conductivity of any element on Earth. Physics doesn't negotiate. Copper oxidizes. Aluminum can't handle current density. Other materials degrade too fast. If you want high-efficiency solar, you need silver. Now zoom out. China is installing more solar capacity per year than the United States has installed in its entire history. India is racing to electrify. Europe is rebuilding energy infrastructure. The Middle East is pivoting from oil to solar. Every single panel needs silver. And it gets worse. Researchers at the University of New South Wales published a warning. At current growth rates, solar manufacturing alone could consume 85 or 98% of known global silver reserves by 2050. Not annual production. Reserves. Silver that hasn't even been mined yet. From 2015